We begin in the Middle East. The Israel-Iran conflict has entered its fifth day with escalating strikes and rising casualties on both sides. In the latest, Israel confirmed it's killed Iran's wartime chief of staff, Ali Shadmani, the most senior military commander targeted so far. The killing came as part of a sweeping military operation across western Iran where Israeli forces struck missile storage sites, UAV launches, and air defense systems overnight. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israeli strikes have set Iran's nuclear program back a very, very long time. He even likened Israel's strike on Iran's operation to removing cancer.
It's like cancer. You know you have cancer that's going to kill you. You remove the cancer, you also undergo treatments, and it might come back one day. But I believe we're keeping it away, let's say for a long, long time. I can't go into details because we have good assessments and we don't stop. We have more goals. And we are really going to do a root canal here.
Just a day earlier, Israel bombed Iran's state-run TV headquarters, forcing an anchor to flee during a live broadcast. That strike followed a barrage of Iranian missiles which killed at least 8 people in Israel and pushed the death toll there to 24 with over 500 injured.
فضای غبارآلود استادیوم
Just hours ago, Israeli regime deliberately targeted the office of Iran's news agency during a live broadcast. This appalling attack constitute a blatant war crime and a direct assault on press freedom. The Israeli regime has once again demonstrated that it is the foremost enemy of truth. It holds the disgraceful record of being the world's leading perpetrator of violence against journalists and media professionals.
Now, on the other hand, Iran's health ministry reports that at least 224 people have been killed and more than 1,200 injured inside the country since Israeli strikes began last Friday. And in a rare move, Iran's main gas production site, South Pars, was also hit by 3 drones. However, Iranian state media did not confirm the extent of the damage. And in response to the Israeli attacks, Tehran fired over 370 missiles and hundreds of drones at Israeli cities and military installations. Powerful explosions rocked Tel Aviv early Monday, sending black smoke over the skyline and deepening fears of a drawn-out conflict. After a series of Iranian attacks, Prime Minister Netanyahu likened Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei to a modern-day Hitler and added that his killing would end the conflict.
So in the course of the negotiations, while they were negotiating with the United States, the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei, tweeted almost every day, "Death to Israel." The talks were merely a facade.
So are you going to target the supreme leader?
Look, we're doing what we need to do. I'm not going to get into the details. It's not going to escalate the conflict. It's going to end the conflict.
Meanwhile, President Donald Trump cut short his visit to the G7 summit in Canada and returned to Washington. He denied French President Emmanuel Macron's claim that he was working on a ceasefire, instead doubling down on his stance against Iran's nuclear ambitions. Taking to his Truth Social account, the president wrote, quote, "Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon," end quote, urging all civilians in Tehran to evacuate immediately. Now, following President Trump's warning, top diplomats from France, the UK, and Germany urged Iran to return to the negotiating table without preconditions and avoid any steps that would further isolate it from the global community. In fact, they warned Iran against escalating tensions or halting cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency.
It is absolutely essential that all the strikes on both sides, against energy, administrative and cultural infrastructures, and above all against civilians, stop. There is no justification for it, and it is absolutely unacceptable.
And as both nations continue to trade fire, regional tensions continue to boil, and the world is left watching with one question looming large: how far will this go?
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktur,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Skali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.